What's going on, YouTube? So I was asked the Eagles, the band, what was their peak and their prime? Because their greatest hits album, 71 through 75, was one of the biggest selling albums in Billboard. Now, I still find it comical that that album was actually running toe to toe with Michael Jackson's Thriller, because it sold a lot, but come on now, Thriller was like, that's a whole nother video, another story, but it's a big selling album. And when I was aware of the Eagles was like the mid to late 70s, obviously with Hotel California. My personal favorite, I can't tell you why, and The Long Run, which was a big hit. They had a distinctive vibe. They were, how would I describe the Eagles? I would say their prominent peak was probably, for me, was like probably 75 to about 80. But they had this country vibe which was like kind of akin to like what the Rolling Stones or Aerosmith might do if you blues off bass, but with pop sensibility, and Don Henley's vocals, Timothy B. Schmidt, they had Glenn Fry, they had this kind of like a um a vibe in their music which worked for their songwriting and their grooves, you know. And I always thought them is good. I never got the hype that they were great though. I like some of their songs, and I thought they had an interesting approach, but I didn't sit around and think, oh, the Eagles are this big selling heavyweight act. So for me, I'd say the mid 70s to late 70s to me was their peak and their prime. But, a good band to me. And I like, as I said before, I Can't Tell You Why is one of them songs that I like that groove to that a lot. That's one of them songs that one of the best songs that Hall and Oates didn't do, you know. And it's one of those songs that had a cool groove to it. It's one of them songs that I like the chorus, I like the feel of it, you know. So they definitely hit me with some stuff like that. But in between time, they kind of they were catchy. They wrote some catchy songs, The production, the arrangements really highlighted them. But I wasn't like, again, not enamored where I saw this hype. When we talk about acts that are big sellers or hit you, you understand when they become a phenomenon, they're a culture phenomenon within the music community and within people that, were like, oh, not feeling them like that. They don't hit me like that. But it was the subtlety of them and of course over time with them. But I'd say the mid to late 70s for me when I think about the Eagles' peak and prime. I think that's where they had very big commercial success. The Long Run actually has a groove which loans itself to like a throwback 60s kind of vamp. It's close to a Memphis style so for what they were trying to do. Like an off brand Wilson Pickett nod, if you will. And they had some songs that kind of veered into a country blues pop vibe with hints and elements of R&B, but it just never came out. They just didn't have the styling as musicians to pull that off per se. But you could hear that they were definitely listening to different things that were, circulating in that style. And they just had the way that they approach music. But anyway, that's my thoughts and takes about the Eagles musically, their peak and prime. Let me know what you think, and tell me when you think their peak and prime was, and where you come down on them and their hype and their, and their success and whatever, and where do you come down with them? Let me know in the comments. Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like it. The membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.